First of all, I'm a jazz pianist. And the book I brought out is based on classical music. So that is the uniqueness for people who know what I've done in music, who have followed my career and know me as a jazz pianist. They are quite surprised that I bring out a book of classical piano etudes. But I just got this idea when I was at the piano and just trying out various stuff and all that. And then I hit upon the idea after hearing actually some of the piano works of the greats, legendary Chopin, Mozart. And I said, why not give it a shot and give etudes in my own way to help young piano students to achieve what they want to achieve, of course. And not necessarily in the classical mode. They can get into modern commercial songwriting and even jazz. So you will find a mixture of all these styles in the etudes, not just classical, but it is in a way influenced by my jazz learnings and playing. So I thought, why not bring out a book? And the challenge for me was there are 12 piano etudes in the major keys and 12 piano etudes in the minor keys. So I had the task of writing not one etude, but 24 etudes in all the keys. So that was a challenge for me, but I took it up and I took some time developing this piece of music. And when it was finally ready, I said I must publish this and introduce it to the new piano students of our generation. All those actually mindset, technique and all that. And that separates a master piano player from a beginner or an amateur, and a pianist who is just developing his skills at the piano. There are so many aspects to playing piano. After you master your finger, what they call finger dexterity, you loosen up your fingers and get it used to the piano scales. You develop into going into songwriting and attempting to play the great classical pieces written by great people. Yeah. And that is not an easy task. It's a tough endeavor. But the things you have to go step by step. Yeah. And those are really interested and really serious about piano can develop. Yeah. Etudes has a kind of apart from exercises in scales and arpeggios and other piano exercises, it has a melodic aspect to it. Yeah. So that separates it from the regular exercises that you have for piano, which the student might find it interesting. Yeah. Because I've seen among students that when you just give them scales to practice and, sometimes they lose interest because it's just scales and there's nothing more than that. But when they have an etude, the etude has scales as well, the melodic aspect, yeah, which makes it interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that throughout my life actually. A lot of people, especially in India, really, they neglect uh, studying music and going through the various scales and exercises that you need to develop your skills. They sort of get bored with that, and because the amount of commercial music that they listen to, they are in a hurry to get into that space where they can play a song. Yeah, but without proper grounding, they will come upon, yeah, barriers where they cannot progress further because their learning is not complete. So I sort of, right in the beginning, I make it a point for the students to learn to read music, and that's mostly important. Most important is to learn to read music. Then you have access to a lot the great music that is around you. Yeah, by the great composers, and in that way you develop. You have a very serious uh, aspect to music development, and you will grow as a musician. First, I'll correct that. Not grandfather, godfather. Yeah, I know, because I think the amount of time I have devoted to jazz right from the early stages, and have been playing jazz, performing jazz, and teaching the rudiments of jazz to young people. I've kept this up for, like they say, donkey's years. Yeah. So for over 50 years, I've been doing this, and haven't given up on it. Big people, some are very. They said in India, I don't think this jazz will work because they're not interested and all that. But I was determined. Yeah, because I think that jazz is one of the greatest music ever conceived by man. Really, yeah. So I wanted Indian jazz, Indian pianists to absorb this and to get down to seriously into applying in their development as a musician. So it's very important, very, very important. And I see the difference in several players that I've seen grow up, and those who have studied a bit of jazz and all that are automatically playing better. Yeah. So it's a big, big influence. Yeah. Yeah. Etudes are the exercises actually. Yeah. And I called my etudes song etudes because I have tried to create melodic songs out of these exercises. Yeah. So that makes it more interesting. And young people who are trying it out, they like it very much. Yeah. And it's almost like playing a song. So that helps in their development. Yeah. Well, definitely classical music, Indian classical music. It's the most demanding, most challenging. Yeah. And it needs a lot of very serious application to achieve some degree of excellence in that genre. Uh, After that, if you stick by it and seriously study it and apply it in your playing, you will find that it's very easy to play songs and there's no problem at all. So it helps like that and in your growth, actually, yeah. And if you want to become a kind of a world-class pianist, you have to adopt just not classical exercises, but the song approach of commercial music and jazz and commercial music in all its aspects, like Brazilian music, yeah, fusion music. If you once you adapt all this, then you become a more complete musician, really, yeah, and grow. Ah, my father, yes, definitely, yeah, yeah. He was my biggest influence, and he he was a piano teacher actually here, and so he knew the various aspects of learning step by step. Yeah, and he himself uh, went through all the various learning stages brought out by the Royal School of Music. Yeah, he went through that step by step, grade by grade, and even in the later stages of his life, he still carried on applying and achieving the highest grade in Royal School of Music. And I remember him saying, when I went for the exams, I said I was the oldest guy in the class. Everybody was a youngster, and but I didn't mind because I was learning something. So what he learned like that, he passed it on to me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky like that. Yeah, and so I had a very good grounding in the early stages. I didn't go through the Royal School of Music because the Royal School of Music was standing right in front of me, my father. Yeah. So I was lucky like that. And I was serious about music. I loved the piano. So I was a good student actually for him. Yeah. And that's how I developed quite quickly. Yeah. At the age of 13, I started playing in his band. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks to my father. Yeah. Definitely. This is the first, and now I'm really interested uh, in writing some other books also comprising of exercises, melodic exercises, which I call. Yeah. And the next book that I will bring out is Jazz Etudes. Yeah. Because I want to incorporate that the aspect of jazz strongly in exercises for piano. So definitely the next book will be Jazz Etudes. Well, I hope uh, they will appreciate the melodic aspect of these exercises and prepare themselves and practice and practice and practice to get it right. And once they get it right, they will hear the melodic aspect coming through exercises. So that is a good change from uh, books of piano technique, where you just have exercises without any connection of melody and song. So I wanted to get away from that and to make it more interesting for students, to give them uh, exercises built into a song.